Welcome to the Jerry Graves channel. This channel talks about narcissism and everything in between. Without further ado, let's jump into the topic. But before I start the video, I want to say that I have a habit of talking slow sometimes. So if you feel like you need to speed up the video, you can, and go ahead and do that. Narcissists have a thing that they do where they act really annoyed when you try to confirm things with them, even if they've been jerking you around. Instead of them being like, just giving you confirmation, they sit up there and act like they're super annoyed, and it's a tactic. You have these people that do that all day long. Like they like to waste your time and make things complicated. I've noticed that, like, with people that are providing some type of service, they make things complicated. Like a narcissistic person will make something complicated for no reason, and then have you running around in circles and going back and forth and talking to all these different people, and then eventually it leads all back to them, and then they finally do the thing that they're supposed to do, and then they get upset when you confirm with them if they did the thing the right way. You know, if there's anything that's going wrong, because you're at that point where you're like, you're ready to get up out of there, so you're like, let me check to make sure before I go that it was done correctly. And then they kind of like act like you're being annoying, and almost make you feel, and it's like the way they say it, the way that they do it is kind of weird, because it's like they do it like they know you. You know, it's not like, oh, it's just more like they'll say your name, like they know you, like, Jerry. Like if you ask that question to confirm with them, they're just like, Jerry, or something like that. Like, you just met this person. Now, if it was like your mom or somebody that you've known for years, somebody saying it like how I just said it, that wouldn't stand out as much. But I've noticed that they use that tone like they know you, and like there's this pattern of you being annoying or asking annoying questions, when it's like really it's a pattern of them overcomplicating things and wasting your time. That's the only pattern that's been set, you know. But they'll, if somebody were to be watching and not being involved, and they just heard that tone, it would suggest that, yeah, you've been annoying, you're being annoying, you're being annoying, and you guys have known each other at least a couple of weeks or a few months, you know, and that's just your relationship. And when it's not like that, here's an example of what I'm talking about. Like, let's say you went to a dealership and you rented a car, and you go and do this paperwork, and right before you finish, they're like, wait, I think that car was already on lease, we can't really rent that one to you, but you can pick another car. So then you go and you get right to the point where you're about to sign for it, and they're like, oh, somebody already reserved that car, actually, so um, pick another car. So then you get to the next car, and then you ask them ahead of time when they get you the paperwork, are you sure that this car isn't reserved? And you say it innocently, right? And they're like, they snap at you, or they start acting like you're being annoying, or like, Jerry, or you know what I mean? Like, say it with that tone of voice, like you're being annoying, or in reality, you're just asking because they had a pattern of giving you reserved cars. That's this is what I'm talking about. That's an example of that, but that's what happens all the time. And then eventually you stop confirming things with them. They don't want you to confirm anything. They want you to just be up in the air so that they could just do what they want, and waste as much time as they want. You can't really get any solid questions so that you can break away from the time wasting. You have to deal with this person again. Now, this isn't just dealing with people who are in the service industry, but people you work with, anybody you come across. They try to get you to the point where you're not asking any more questions, but you always continue to ask questions, And then another thing, when this happens, like, don't laugh. That's a key, because they start acting so absurd, where you almost it's almost funny, where you're just like, because when somebody's acting like you're annoying, it's just like, for some reason, it makes me laugh, whenever somebody's acting absurd and acting like I'm being annoying, and I come away like, okay, okay, and I kind of laugh. But don't laugh, take that seriously, because they're trying to build a frame of you being this annoying person who's no longer allowed to ask any more questions. Just go along with my nonsense. Just go along with my nonsense. But I'm kind of all over the place. But that's just something I wanted to say, just so people, if you've experienced that, I feel like it's a staple, as far as in the narc community, to do this. It's a way of treating somebody to make them feel less than, and just to make them feel smaller than you, like make them feel like a kid, because kids are annoying. That's how you get treated when you're, by adults, when you're, 5 years old, or 6 years old, or, you know what I mean. You're getting treated like that again, even though you're not asking a kid like question. You're asking an adult question. You're not deserving of that in any kind of way. So be aware of that. And even if you have a friend who talks to you like that, they're obviously not gonna be your friend much longer. And make sure that you stay away from them. But like I said, the key is to take it seriously, and just don't laugh, and make sure you don't, hang your head, or, raise your shoulders like somebody who's a little bit ashamed, a little bit embarrassed, because there might be people around, and they're talking to you like you're some kid, and you start getting a little bit embarrassed, and people, because narcissists have that voice, they over sell things. They do a lot of acting, because it's acting. It's not really, they're not really annoyed by you asking that. It's acting. And that type of acting in somebody's voice draws a lot of attention, even if they don't say it too loud. It's just them putting all these, because people just talk normal most of the time. They're monotone. Most people are monotone throughout the day, unless they're trying to be overly nice or something like that, and then they might have some voice inflection. But most people say things pretty monotone and flat. But then you have this one person who's not being nice, who's not being monotone. They're just all this colorful voice inflections that just draws everybody's attention to you, and you're just trying to, finish a transaction so you can go. And then now everybody's also paying attention to you getting ran in circles, and having to talk to the boss and talk to all these different people, and then it gets embarrassing. So, but if even if it does get embarrassing, don't take on the body language of somebody who's embarrassed. Sinking your head down, raising your shoulders, looking around and getting kind of that cold sweat. You can kind of control how you feel to a degree, just by your body language. Still hold your head up, you know, relax your shoulders, even if everybody's looking at you, and talk regular. Don't start acting fake with them, and talking on this fake uh, voice inflections, and or talking super loud, and or even getting overly worked up because they're wasting your time. You just stay calm, and that's how you beat it. That's how you beat this. That's how it makes them look foolish in the end. For a second, it might make you look foolish, but in the end, people start to see them for what they are. And that's all I got. Peace.